Laura Lee Mae Francis, a name etched in the memories of those who loved her, now synonymous with a haunting question: where did she go? It's a question that echoes through the tight-knit community of Grand Prairie, a place where lives are intertwined and secrets whisper on the wind. Laura's story isn't just a local mystery. It's a stark reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of ordinary lives, the sudden silences that leave families shattered. Laura's disappearance wasn't a dramatic event, no blaring headlines or frantic search parties. It began with a quiet absence, a missed appointment, a growing unease that tightened its grip with each passing hour. The days melted into weeks, then months, each one a hammer blow to the hearts of those who loved her most. Hope flickered, then dimmed, replaced by a chilling certainty. Something was terribly wrong. The police began their investigation, but leads were scarce, whispers and rumors, the only fuel for a fire that refused to be extinguished. Laura Lee Mae Francis was gone, vanished, leaving behind a tangled web of unanswered questions and a family grappling with the unbearable weight of uncertainty. Her story, like a faded photograph found tucked away in a dusty album, offers glimpses into a life brimming with love, laughter, and the ordinary moments that make up a human heart. But the picture is incomplete, the edges blurred by the mystery of her disappearance. And it's in those blurred edges, in the spaces between what we know and what remains shrouded in shadow, that the search for Laura Lee Mae Francis truly begins. To know Laura was to be enveloped in her warmth. Her laughter, a melody that filled every room, was infectious. Her smile, a beacon of kindness that drew people in. She possessed a rare gift, the ability to make everyone around her feel seen, heard, and cherished. Her family was her anchor, her friends her compass, and her absence left a void that could never be filled. Holidays, once brimming with Laura's vibrant spirit, are now bittersweet reminders of the gaping hole in their lives. The scent of her favorite pie baking in the oven, the echo of her laughter in the hallway, phantom limbs of memory, achingly present yet forever out of reach. Every family gathering, every shared meal, is a poignant dance between cherished memories and the heart-wrenching reality of her absence. Laura's absence resonated most profoundly within the walls of her own home. She was the glue that held her family together, the steady, reassuring presence that anchored them amidst life's storms. Her love was the invisible thread woven through their days, a source of comfort and unwavering support. Now the silence is deafening. Every tick of the clock, every creak of the floorboards seems to whisper her name, a constant reminder of the void left behind. Her family, bound by love and loss, navigates a world shrouded in her absence, clinging to the hope that one day the silence will be broken and Laura will finally come home. Laura's life was deeply rooted in Grand Prairie. It was more than just the place she called home. It was woven into the fabric of her being. She knew every street corner, every shop owner's name, every hidden path that meandered through the nearby woods. This deep connection makes her disappearance all the more baffling, like a puzzle piece that simply refuses to fit. In the weeks leading up to her vanishing, those closest to Laura noticed subtle shifts in her demeanor. The easy laughter that once came so readily seemed strained, her usual vibrant energy replaced by a quiet introspection. There were whispers of disagreements, unspoken anxieties that clouded her usually bright eyes. Looking back, these subtle changes painted a picture, faint but undeniable, of a life perhaps teetering on the edge of something unknown. Some dismissed these changes as insignificant, the natural ebb and flow of a life lived. But for those who loved Laura, these whispers and shadows hinted at a darkness encroaching on her world, a darkness they were powerless to fight against. Was someone casting a shadow over Laura's life? Someone she knew? Someone lurking in the periphery? The answers, elusive and taunting, lie buried somewhere in the labyrinth of Laura's last days. Each fleeting interaction, each whispered conversation, a potential breadcrumb leading to the truth. And as the investigation continues, one question hangs heavy in the air. Did someone in Grand Prairie know more than they were letting on? Section 4. A Family's Agony, Battling Despair and Sensationalized Narratives. The disappearance of a loved one is a unique kind of hell, a descent into a bottomless pit of despair. For Laura's family, the pain is amplified by the cruel indifference of time, the slow torture of not knowing. Days bleed into weeks, weeks into months, and still the question remains, where is Laura? Adding insult to injury is the media's often insensitive portrayal of Laura's disappearance. What began as a plea for help, a desperate attempt to keep her story alive, quickly devolved into a spectacle. Headlines screamed, speculation ran rampant, and Laura's life, her loves, her fears were reduced to sound bites and sensationalized narratives. Ethical reporting demands more than just chasing clicks and ratings. It requires empathy, sensitivity, and an unwavering commitment to the truth. Laura's story, like all stories of missing persons, deserves to be treated with dignity and respect. Behind the headlines, behind the speculation, is a family grappling with unimaginable pain, their lives shattered by an absence that cuts to the bone. In these moments of profound grief, it's crucial to remember that Laura is not just a name in a news report. She is a daughter, a sister, a friend. Her story is a stark reminder that behind every missing person poster, every news article, there are real people living with the agonizing reality of not knowing. Section 5. Beyond One Vanishing. The Plight of Missing Indigenous Women. Laura's story, while tragically unique, is not an isolated incident. It shines a light on a larger, more systemic issue: the alarming rate at which Indigenous women go missing or are murdered. These cases often receive inadequate attention, their stories relegated to the shadows, their families left to navigate a justice system that too often fails them. The reasons behind this crisis are complex and multifaceted, rooted in historical trauma, systemic racism, and a lack of resources dedicated to investigating these cases. For many Indigenous communities, the disappearance of a woman is a tragically familiar story, one that evokes a deep-seated fear and a sense of powerlessness. But within these communities, resilience burns bright. Families and friends band together, forming search parties, advocating for justice, and keeping the stories of their loved ones alive. They refuse to let their voices be silenced, demanding recognition, accountability, and a commitment to ending the violence that has plagued their communities for far too long. Laura's disappearance is a stark reminder that we must do better. We must listen to the voices of Indigenous communities, amplify their stories, and demand justice for the missing and murdered. Only through collective action, through empathy, and through a commitment to dismantling the systems that perpetuate this violence, can we hope to create a safer world for Indigenous women. Section 6. Laura's Legacy, a call for awareness and action. Though Laura is gone, her spirit lives on, not in the silence of her absence, but in the echoes of her laughter, in the warmth of her memory, and in the relentless pursuit of justice. Her disappearance serves as a stark reminder that even in the smallest towns, darkness can lurk, and that the fight for truth and accountability requires unwavering dedication. Laura's legacy is a call to action. It's a plea for increased awareness surrounding missing persons cases, particularly those involving Indigenous women. It's a demand for better resources, more thorough investigations, and a justice system that truly values all lives. Each one of us has a role to play in this fight. We can educate ourselves about the issue, support organizations working tirelessly to find answers, and refuse to let Laura's story, and the stories of countless others, fade into obscurity. Remember Laura Lee Mae Francis. Share her story. Keep the hope for her safe return alive. For in the face of such profound loss, silence is not an option. Section 7. Seeking justice, seeking answers. Every detail matters. In the pursuit of justice, every detail, no matter how insignificant it may seem, could be the missing piece that cracks the case wide open. Memories, however fragmented, hold immense power. A face in a crowd, an overheard snippet of conversation, a seemingly innocuous event. These fragments of information could be the key to unlocking the truth behind Laura's disappearance. If you have any information about Laura Lee Mae Francis, no matter how small or insignificant you think it may be, please come forward. Your courage could be the beacon that guides us through the darkness, the lifeline that brings a family one step closer to finding answers. Don't let fear, doubt, or the passage of time silence your voice. Share what you know. Contact the authorities. Reach out to Laura's family. Keep her story alive in your thoughts and conversations. The smallest detail might be the one that brings Laura home. For Laura, and for all those who love her, let us be the voices that pierce the silence, the collective force that demands justice, and the unwavering hope that refuses to be extinguished. The truth is out there waiting to be found. Let's bring Laura home.